Two people in the exact same financial situation can make completely different decisions. And the difference isn't IQ, it's not education, it's something weirder. Money isn't math. Money is feelings. Wearing a math costume and the feelings part, that's the part nobody talks about. Because it makes us look irrational, and we hate looking irrational. So today, we're going to talk about it. The 6 weird money emotions that quietly run your financial life. The ones you've definitely felt, but probably never named. Once you can name them, you can see them. Once you can see them, they stop running your life from the
As soon as you can name a concept, you start to see it everywhere.
This is a
That's why
psychology
naming
video
truly is
with finance
seeing.
examples. Stay with me for 10 minutes. I'll give you 6 people you'll definitely recognize. Maybe one of them is you. Maybe all of them are you on different Tuesdays. None of these emotions are bad. They all evolved for a reason. The trick isn't to get rid of them. It's to know when they're in the driver's seat. Okay, let's meet emotion number 1. The one that costs Americans the most money every single year. By far. FOMO. The fear of missing out. Meet Rachel. Rachel is 31. She works in marketing. She makes $65,000. She has a Roth IRA she contributes to every month. By every measure, she's doing fine. Then her coworker buys Bitcoin, tells her about it at lunch. 3 weeks later, it's up 40%. He won't shut up about it. Rachel checks Bitcoin that night. It's still going up. She does the math. If she had put just $5,000 in 3 weeks ago, she'd be $2,000 richer right now. $2,000 that she didn't make, that she missed, that her dumb coworker did make. Here's the part that matters. Rachel didn't lose anything. Her Roth IRA still went up. She is exactly as wealthy this Tuesday as she was last Tuesday, but she feels poorer because the imaginary $2,000 she didn't make feels like a real $2,000 she lost. That's FOMO. Here's what it does next. Rachel puts $10,000 in Bitcoin. 2 weeks later, it crashes 30%. She panics. She sells at the bottom. She's down $3,000. Now she's actually $3,000 poorer. From trying not to feel $2,000 poorer, this is the FOMO trap. The fear of missing a small imaginary win pushes you into a real loss to avoid feeling the imaginary loss. The math doesn't make sense. The feelings do. FOMO is so expensive because it doesn't show up as a line item. You don't see FOMO charge on your bank statement. It just shows up as, why am I broke again? The fix for FOMO is simple, but not what you think. The fix is, you have to be okay with watching other people make money you didn't. Your coworker can make $50,000 on Bitcoin. Your neighbor can flip a house. You have to be able to say, good for them, and not move a single dollar. That's not easy. That's actually the entire test. Emotion number 2, impatience. Meet Tim. Tim is 46. He has $230,000 saved up for retirement. He started late. He knows he started late. Compound interest at his pace, boring index funds, steady contributions, gives him about $850,000 by 65. Hurry. Comfortable. Boring. But Tim doesn't want boring. Tim wants to catch up. Tim wants a big number fast. Tim does what impatient people do. He swings for fences. $40,000 into tech stocks. $30,000 into options trading. He researches high-yield real estate deals he finds on podcasts. 18 months later, Tim has $173,000. The boring path would have left him at $245,000. He went backwards $72,000, trying to go forward faster. Compound interest is one of the most powerful forces in the universe, but only if you let it actually compound. Compounding needs one ingredient: time. Not skill, not picking, not strategy, just time. The longer you let it run, the more absurd the math gets. If Tim had just stayed in index funds for those 18 months, he would have made $15,000 doing nothing. By trying to do something, he lost $72,000. The fix for impatience is brutal. The fix is, you have to be okay with money making money slowly, in the background, while you live your life. By slowly, I mean over 20 years, 30 years, most of your adult life. That's a long time. That's also exactly why most people lose. They can't sit still. They have to keep poking the dough. If you want to be rich slowly, stop poking the dough. Let it rise. Emotion 3, envy. The one nobody admits to. Meet Priya. Priya is 28, software engineer, $140,000, owns her condo, investing aggressively. By any objective measure, Priya is killing it. Then she opens Instagram. Her college friend just bought a $1.4 million house in Austin. She doesn't say anything out loud. She doesn't think anything mean. She just feels smaller. 2 weeks later, Priya is touring houses, looking at things she doesn't want, in neighborhoods she doesn't like, at prices she can't afford. Envy hijacked her actual preferences and replaced them with someone else's. She's not shopping for her life anymore. She's shopping for her friend's life. Envy is the most expensive emotion because it doesn't make you want more. It makes you want something specific that someone else has, and that someone is moving. You're chasing a moving target. The moment Priya gets the house, if she stretches and buys it, the next thing on the radar will be her friend's vacation, or her friend's car, or her friend's career change. Envy doesn't have an end state. It's not a goal you can reach. It's a treadmill disguised as a goal. Studies on lottery winners are wild. Within 18 months of winning, most are no happier than before, some less happy. Their new baseline is just a new baseline. Whatever you have becomes the new normal within about 3 months. That's not pessimism. That's neuroscience. The fix for envy is harder than FOMO. The fix is, you have to design your life around your preferences. Not the average, not the impressive, yours. Which sounds easy. It's not. Most of us have no idea what we actually want. We have ideas we absorbed from people around us. Priya's actual preference, the one she'd land on if she could mute the noise, is a small 2-bedroom apartment in a walkable neighborhood near her favorite coffee shop. She already has that. She just can't see it. Envy makes you want what you don't have and not see what you do. That's the double attack. That's why it costs so much. Emotion 4, anxiety. The quiet one. Meet Greg. Greg is 58, $1.2 million in retirement, 0 debt, owns his house outright, kids launched. By every measure, Greg is set. But Greg doesn't sleep well. Greg checks his portfolio every morning. Greg moves money in and out of cash. Greg has a notebook of recession indicators he tracks. Greg can afford to retire. Greg won't. Anxiety whispers, what if this all disappears tomorrow? What if you didn't save enough? What if the market crashes 50% the day after you stop working? Here's the brutal thing about anxiety. No amount of money fixes it. Greg with $1.2 million is as anxious as Sam with $0. The number changes, the feeling doesn't. If you don't address the feeling itself, you'll always need more money to feel safe. And there is no number that will make you feel safe. There isn't one. I've seen people with $5 million feeling poor. I've seen people with $80,000 sleeping like babies. The number doesn't determine the feeling. The relationship does. The fix for anxiety is the strangest of all 6. The fix isn't more money. The fix is building a tiny structure around enough. Knowing your own number for I'm fine. Greg's number for enough should be $900,000. He passed it 3 years ago. Nobody told him. So, he kept running. If you don't define enough in advance, you'll never feel like you've reached it. The brain keeps moving the finish line forward to match wherever you are. Define your enough. Write it on a real piece of paper. Sign it. Your future self will try to renegotiate. Make it expensive to renegotiate. Emotion 5, pride. The one that disguises itself as confidence. Meet Carlos, 33, started a small marketing agency 2 years ago. Doing okay, not great. Okay. An old friend offers Carlos a director-level job at a big tech company. $230,000 a year. Stock options, health insurance. Carlos says no. Carlos's agency makes him $58,000 a year. After expenses, after taxes, after everything. He turned down $230,000 to stay at $58,000. Why? Pride. Carlos can't separate his identity from his business. Taking the job feels like admitting he failed. He's not making a financial decision. He's protecting his self-image. That costs him $172,000 a year, plus stock options, plus benefits. Pride is most expensive when you can't separate decisions from identity. When walking away feels like losing, even when staying costs more. Pride doesn't only hit entrepreneurs. It hits employees who won't quit jobs they hate because I've been here 12 years. Investors who hold losing stocks because I'm not going to sell at a loss. The fix for pride is the hardest. You have to be willing to make a losing decision in public, to take the job, to sell the stock, to leave, to look like you couldn't hack it. Most people would rather quietly bleed for 10 years than publicly change directions for one afternoon. Why? Because pride says, being seen failing is worse than actually failing. Pride is a story you can rewrite. Carlos can take the job and keep the agency as a side project. He can say no later. Pride forced a binary choice that didn't exist. Last emotion. Regret. The one that lives in the past. Meet Lisa. Lisa is 54. She didn't start investing until she was 41. She is convinced this fact will define the rest of her life. Every time someone tells her about compound interest, she does the math in her head. What would her portfolio look like if she had started at 25 like the books say? The answer she always gets? About $470,000 more by 65. That's the cost of starting late. Every time she runs that math, she gets a little sadder, a little smaller, a little more convinced the game is over for her. Here's what regret does. It steals the only resource Lisa actually has left. The present. Lisa has 11 working years left. She has $310,000 right now. If she keeps contributing, that becomes $720,000 by 65. Quite a lot. Comfortably retired. But she can't see that number. She can only see the phantom $470K she didn't make. The brain weighs imagined loss heavier than real gain. Regret is the only emotion in this list you can do nothing about. The decision happened. The money is gone. The years are past. The math is done. And yet, regret is the most common emotion my comment section is full of. I wish I'd started sooner. I wish I'd known this at 23. It's too late for me. The fix for regret is the simplest of all 6. The best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Lisa, starting at 41, will have less than someone who started at 25. True, but Lisa starting at 41 will have wildly more than Lisa starting at 55. And Lisa at 55 will have more than Lisa at 65. The math doesn't care that you started late. The math just starts when you start. Okay, the reversal. I just spent 20 minutes warning you about 6 emotions. You'd think the conclusion is, be unemotional. Pure spreadsheet brain. Wrong. You can't be unemotional. You're a person. You're going to feel things about money your entire life. The goal isn't to feel nothing. The goal is to know what you're feeling, and not let the feeling make the decision. Feel the FOMO. Then sit on your hands for 2 weeks. Feel the envy. Then ask if you actually want that thing. Feel the regret. Then start today instead. Naming the emotion creates a tiny gap between feeling and action. That tiny gap is everything. So here's my actual ask. 3 things. 1. When you feel the next financial urge, name the emotion before you act. Just say it out loud. This is FOMO. This is envy. This is regret. 2. Define your enough in advance. Pick a number. Write it down. Make it a real document. Greg's mistake was not having one. 3. Separate your identity from your financial decisions. Decisions aren't who you are, they're what you did. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, not your therapist either. Just one Jeff sharing patterns that work for thousands of people. Comments. Tell me which of the 6 emotions you recognize most in yourself right now. Be honest, no wrong answer. I read every comment. The honest ones from this community are some of the most moving things I've read all year. If this video helped, share it with one person. Someone you've watched making one of these emotional decisions lately? Send it to them. Next video, I'll break down the one financial habit that quietly separates people who get rich from people who stay broke. It's not what you think. Subscribe so you don't miss it. See you there. Until then, be honest with yourself about what you're feeling. Money is feelings wearing a math costume. Take care.